Every teenager has expectations placed on them. But Charlie Woods? He's trying to escape the shadow of a god. Every time he steps onto a tee box, he's not just competing against other juniors. He's squaring up against the ghost of 2000's Tiger Woods, the most dominant force golfers ever known. And somehow, Charlie isn't running from that impossible comparison. He's leaning into it. Earlier this year, after one of his biggest amateur victories, Charlie looked Tiger in the eye and said, "I know we argue." It came from a now viral Father's Day message reported by The Sun, and it wasn't polished, rehearsed, or PR approved. It was real. A teenager in the furnace of greatness, acknowledging the pressure, the tension, the weight of having a living legend as both your dad and your coach. And that single sentence might be the rawest thing we've heard in golf all year. So now comes $1 million question, maybe the $1 billion question. Is it even fair to compare Charlie to Tiger? Or are we watching something more complex, more layered, and maybe even more impressive? Is Charlie not just chasing Tiger's legacy, but quietly beginning to build his own? Because what happens next might shock everyone who thought this story already had a predictable ending. Every prodigy has a weekend that changes everything, to the moment when whispers turn into roars and potential becomes proof. For Charlie Woods, that moment arrived at the 2025 Team TaylorMade Invitational. Heading into the event, he wasn't even ranked inside the top 600 in the AJGA, just another talented son of a legend. Right? Then came the scores: 70, 65, 66 round after round. Pressure after pressure, until Charlie walked off the 18th green at 15 under, 3 strokes clear the entire field, with the golf world staring straight at him, and suddenly the headlines weren't about Tiger. They were about Charlie, and let's be honest, this wasn't some country club cakewalk. This was real competition, real pressure, real expectations. And Charlie Woods didn't just survive, I owned it. The Team TaylorMade Invitational isn't just another junior event, it's elite. The best juniors in America. Players with full-ride scholarship offers, coaches watching, sponsors watching, pressure building on every swing. And Charlie Woods, he didn't just win, he dominated. Clutch birdies, laser-guided approach shots, ice-cold putts that didn't even consider missing. According to Golf Monthly, this wasn't just a victory. It was a statement. Point one so loud it launched Charlie from AJGA rank 604 away inside the top 15. That's not progress, that's a breakthrough. The kind of leap that separate contenders from chosen ones. And then there was Tiger, not as a global icon, not as a 15-time major champion, but as dad. Walking the course, hands behind his back, quiet, controlled, but visibly locked in. You could see the pride, you could see the nerves. You could see a man who spent decades dismantling leaderboards now doing something entirely different, witnessing. Watching a new force take shape right in front of him. This was a nostalgia. It was foreshadowing, because here's the wild part. Tiger was 15 when he exploded onto the junior golf scene, winning world championships and setting the amateur circuit on fire. Charlie just produced a moment eerily similar at the exact same age, different swing, different era, same result, history, rhyming in real time. And if this is only chapter 1 of the Charlie Woods story, then we might be watching a formation, a storm the golf world is nowhere near ready for. But every great athlete, every legend, faces that moment where the universe punches back, where momentum stalls, where the spotlight flickers. For Charlie Woods, that moment came just weeks after the AJGA triumph. According to the Times of India, he failed to qualify for the U.S. Open for the second year in a row. After the high came the humbling. A hard crash back to earth, and in that silence, something far more important than talent revealed itself: character. Because let's be honest, failing to qualify isn't rare. Even seasoned professionals get bounced from U.S. Open qualifiers. But for Charlie, the expectations were heavier. Cameras were closer. The comparisons to Tiger were louder than ever, and yet no excuses. No frustration on camera. No emotional unraveling. Just a quiet return to training. A quiet return to hunger. Because champions aren't defined by how they celebrate victory, they're defined by how they respond to failure. And if anyone knows setbacks, it's Tiger Woods. Torn ACLs, shattered legs, surgeries, tabloids, headlines. Chaos, the kind of adversity that would have destroyed any normal human being. But Tiger kept coming back again and again and again. That same grit, that same bulletproof mental armor seems woven into Charlie's DNA. That he didn't walk away from a game, that he didn't sulk, that he didn't collapse, that he leaned into the grind. IT feels like watching the early chapters of someone who isn't afraid to get punched in the mouth by reality and come back swinging. Here's where most juniors fade. This is a cliff edge where pressure eats potential alive. But Charlie, he didn't just stand on that edge. He looked over it, took a breath, stepped back, and picked up his clubs again. You want to know how legends are actually made, not by winning every weekend, not by stacking trophies like a highlight reel. Legends are built by knowing exactly how it feels to lose and choosing not to stay there, and that choice, right there, might be the clearest sign yet that this kid is different. When Tiger Woods rose to power in the 1990s, he did it with raw talent, brutal self-discipline, and the lonely grind of a pioneer. There was no blueprint.no map, just a kid with a dream, a beat-up driving range in Cypress, California, and a father who believed the world would bow if Tiger worked hard enough. But Charlie Woods, his growing up in a different universe Tiger built with his own two hands. And the craziest part, Charlie isn't treating that world like a shortcut. His using it like a launch pad. He trains with world-class sports psychologists. He uses cutting-edge analytics Tiger couldn't even imagine at 15. He has custom-built equipment dialed in with engineering precision, performance labs. Swing tracking tech nutritionists, biomechanics experts, the most advanced youth development system golf has ever seen. But all of that isn't even the real secret weapon. The real weapon is Tiger. Not Tiger the legend, Tiger the dad, Tiger the mentor, Tiger the man who's already lived every miracle and every mistake the sport can throw at a human being. According to the New York Post, Tiger has made one thing absolutely clear. Charlie gets to be himself. That's huge. Tiger isn't trying to clone Tiger Woods 2.0. Is coaching a version of himself with the freedom to be more. That kind of emotional space, almost unheard of in elite sports. Especially coming from a parent who just so happens to be the most iconic golfer of all time. And that decision might be the smartest play Tiger has ever made. Because remember this, Tiger didn't have a Tiger Wood growing up. He was the first of his kind. Breaking barriers, chasing ghosts, forging greatness from scratch. But Charlie is growing through balance, through strategy, through experience. That is the ultimate cheat code, Tiger's wisdom, passed down in real time. So the question isn't just, can Charlie be as good as Tiger? The real question is far scarier. What happens when you combine Tiger's DNA with Tiger's experience? It sounds blasphemous, doesn't it? Impossible even. But once you look at the path Charlie is carving, the whispers are getting harder to ignore. Let's be clear. Tiger turned pro at 20. Won the Masters by 12 shots at 2-1. BY 25. He had 8 majors in the world and a chokehold. That's a bar. That's a shadow. And unbelievably, Charlie is starting to climb out of it. Charlie is still a junior, still in high school, still grinding through AJGA events. But here's what's terrifying at this stage of their careers. Charlie is doing things even Tiger didn't. According to Oftenbladed and as.com, Charlie's domination of the 2025 Team TaylorMade Invitational wasn't just impressive. It was historic. His control of the course, his absolute composure under pressure, his tactical precision, and the margin of victory over top-ranked juniors. It all raised eyebrows across the entire golf world. These weren't just flashes of brilliance. They were warning shots that said, this isn't hype. This isn't nepotism. This is real. And if this is Charlie's baseline, his starting point, then imagine what happens when he hits his peak. Imagine what happens when he grows into his body, when his strength matches his technique, when his mind fully matures under the guidance of Tiger Woods, the greatest on-course tactician golf has ever seen. Of course, the road is long, longer than fans think, longer than Charlie probably realizes. Golf isn't a sprint. It's a lifetime marathon. And greatness isn't built in one tournament, one season, or one breakout year. But here's the truth people are finally starting to admit out loud. Charlie Woods isn't just the son of Tiger Woods. He's a rising force. A blueprint for a new era. A player who could, if everything aligns, redefine what comes next in golf. And if history really is starting to rhyme, the world might be watching the opening chapters of something far bigger than anyone expected. Something that doesn't live in Tiger's shadow but grows far beyond it.